What's going on, gamers? We got an interesting article here by Michael Pachter, but it's not one that surprises me. Definitely after how much he's pushed for Microsoft to compete against Sony, and he's done it for a while. He's done everything he can to possibly try to help them. But what he's going to say here makes sense, and with other intel we have, it makes sense as well. He's basically saying that Xbox Magnus is dead, and he doesn't really see the point of it. They've blown it by embracing Game Pass too much. So here's the thing. Even if they didn't, with the way that the market is and the prices, it wasn't going to do much anyways because it's going to be a PC extension, just like the Steam machine, as a console-like experience with backwards compatibility. No, they've blown it by the way they treated the brand for a long time. But embracing Game Pass, yeah, what he means by this, though, and I wanted to add that in because he's right, too, at the same time. And what I mean by that is putting games day and date. Because what you do when you do that is you destroy your market and then going third party and not having any exclusive identity. So that means that you don't have an exclusive Game Pass identity for your hardware only, and you got your games going day and date, and you killed your market and you didn't treat your brand correctly. But he's going to talk about Game Pass because to him, it's pretty much subscription models and third party publishing, which is exactly what's going on, anyways, right? We definitely got this article to read into. Going down for some comments, we know J-Dub, who likes PlayStation, is your favorite guy, has spoken. Y'all quote him all the time. Eric says Michael Game Pass will have 100 million subs soon. Pachter, yeah, I don't know why he ever thought that or why anybody ever thought that. That's tough. I mean, this isn't Netflix. This guy said that PlayStation Portal will feel like the PlayStation Vita. Look where we are at now. I mean, it was pretty solid because of the updates Sony did, and they didn't give up on it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been all that. Unfortunately, Michael Pachter misses 99% of the time. That's funny. I don't think it's hard to miss that article, though. He's pretty much correct. That Game Pass will get to 200 million subs in 10 years. Bet Michael Pachter. Well, he's doing it because he wants to root against Sony. He doesn't really believe that. I'm telling you, Pachter be manipulating to get money. He'd be making millions, too. Or he has that. And he's done that type of stuff all the time. So a lot of people do think that about him, which I kind of think is funny. I don't blame him, though, because I used to see some of his dumb posts, too. I'm like, really, Pachter? Over on Wall Street and stuff. Even back in the early PS4 era. Now we're declaring Xbox pre-dead since the first 5 million times didn't work. This is funny. Let's get into this article, and then maybe we can read a little bit more. Okay, so going over here on WCCF Tech, as regular readers of gaming news know all too well, Wedbush Security strategic advisor Michael Pachter is not one to mince words, always speaking his mind regardless. In 2018, he famously said loot boxes only existed because consumers were stupid. Yikes. I mean, they would have died, so would have gotcha if they would have been smart and not fed the machine. He's basically saying people are taking advantage of you. That's why they're doing this. And you keep on paying them more money. So that's stupid. In 2022, he criticized Sony for vastly overpaying Bungie in a $3.6 billion acquisition. They did overpay. Especially compared to Microsoft's acquisition of Blizzard and Take-Two's acquisition of Zynga. In the same year, he also prophesied that Game Pass active subscribers would blow up to 100 million. Yeah, I don't know about that. When Activision Blizzard games were added, how though? They only have Call of Duty. Outside of that, what is really like insane? No, that was just some pipe dream that everybody got stuck on. And literally doubled down on a prediction in 2024 when he said Game Pass could reach 200 million active subscribers in 10 years. He's trying to massively bloat that to hope that people would support. It's like, dude, nobody will believe that. I would have told you no. If you hit 50 million, that would have been impressive. But now jacking up to 30, you have literally went in reverse Uno mode. And yeah, it's not working well for you. And you shouldn't have done that. You should have went up to like 25 at most. But even then, before you used to do $2 to $3 increases, and they just decided to just be dumb. Yeah, I mean, in a brief conversation with GamesBeat, available only on GB Max users, GameBeat's Max users, following the leadership change at Microsoft, Pachter has now completely modified his stance. To begin with, he wasn't positive at all about the next Xbox console, which is currently targeting a tentative 2027 launch. And that's precisely because of Game Pass. Yeah, like if you go back and read some of Pachter's posts or read some articles on here, he's basically trying to get Microsoft to go to the TV approach and try to get the living room that way because he doesn't have any faith in the hardware doing anything anymore. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. Anybody could see that. He says, I think the console is dead. That's what Xbox is dead has been about this whole time. I think they've already blown it with the console by embracing Game Pass. because you're talking about something as a subscription model. You don't really need a hardware if you want to get a subscription model. Like, I don't need a device to get Netflix. It could be everywhere. You see what I mean? That's what he kind of means. Fair point. Wasn't Pachter pro Game Pass? He was, but he appears to have changed his mind following the recent Game Pass restructuring and price increase. That's what he means by that, too, as well. Which he strongly believes is the wrong model. Yeah, it is. $30 is no. The problem with Game Pass was it was all or nothing. Give me $30 a month or F you. You aren't playing my games. He's right about that. Why wouldn't you sell EA Sports FC to 100 million people who would like to play it but don't want to buy a console? Of course you should. I think that's the ultimate solution. Leveraging Microsoft's game library, live ops understanding, and cloud infrastructure to be like Steam, but for connectivity. If they ever did that, I think it would work. I think the all-in on $30 a month subscription was the wrong way to go. The price should be $10 a month, all you can eat. Who's going to pay for a buffet knowing it's 5 times the cost of a meal? How can you make a business charging people $360 a year up front when a game only costs $70? They should run it like a cafeteria. That's their mistake. Honestly, Michael Pachter is correct. If they would have kept it under 20 on console, that would have been fine, and kept it down to that, and then found other ways to get you to do that, and then over time did that by $2 or something like every year or so. But they didn't wait. They went full-blown greed, and then jacked the price up of the consoles before the RAM market went insane, along with the SSD market, the GPU market, NVIDIA, all that. And now they have all that before all that happened. It's like bad timing, stupid, just blew your pro-consumer push, just everything. Yeah, I mean, he's right, though. If you're going to a buffet, you're not thinking like that. And when you think about Game Pass, it is all you can eat in front of you. It is that type of mentality in a way. He's correct about that. He does have a point. Microsoft likely cannot have its cake and eat it too. By pushing so heavily on Game Pass and the multi-platform strategy, they have decreased the value of owning an Xbox console. As shown by the console's hardware sales over the last 3 or 4 years, but now with the Game Pass price increase, they've also lost many subscribers who believe paying that much for the service isn't really worth it anymore. Because not everybody buys a bunch of games every year. Some people only buy a few games. You know what I mean? Some people wait on games to go on sale and get a few, or if they do get a lot, they'll wait in the holidays and get all those games right there and have them bundled to wait over time to beat along with other stuff. And if you think about somebody only buying a few games a year, why would they want an idle fee like that? They're not going to. Definitely if they can wait on sales. So Microsoft, like you said, Microsoft cannot have its cake and eat it too. They decreased the value of owning an Xbox, as shown by the console's hardware sales over the last 3 or 4 years. But now with the Game Pass price increase, they've also lost many subscribers who believe paying that much for the service isn't really worth it anymore. Yeah, when you think about Netflix, the idea is to keep going up like this, right? Consistently, right? And matching what you're spending. You never want to go backwards. That means you're not doing it right. You want as many people as possible in your theater. And Microsoft does not understand that. So according to the recent rumors, Microsoft might be looking to add more third-party and first-party services to make Game Pass Ultimate a more attractive proposition at $30. But it might already be too late to turn the ship. Yeah, Xbox is dead. It's now a toxic brand. Only idiots want it. Game Pass was always a stupid idea without an exit strategy. Xbox gamers and Microsoft combined to create one of the most stupid times in gaming. Good riddance. Damn. I mean, see, Game Pass could have been right if they wouldn't have put in every game on their day and date. You got to know how to do that correctly. And it's all about keeping the balance of the price point with good content. Doesn't always have to be all your titles day one, because you just kill the market and you kill the developer quality by making them not be in a position to realize we have to do this, we have to succeed, we have to hit this much money, we have to make this much back. We have to really be good developers and want people to still buy our games and own them. Instead of just, I got you real quick and now I'm throwing you off. Like, it becomes soulless. And the gaming industry was never about that, really. There should have been something that was a balanced option, but they went too far with it. Microsoft should sell the Xbox hardware division to Sega. Yeah. This dude looks like a homeless guy they pulled off the street. He's not that. That doesn't matter. He's got millions and millions of dollars. Will be the first time Pachter was ever right about anything. Should be interesting to watch. Game Pass is the perfect answer to good stories that come with no replay. A blind chicken found a grain. Eh? Seems like this might be one of the few things that Pachter said that were smart, basically. This is a good, he's correct about this, like, but, you know, we could pretty much say that. People act like Game Pass Ultimate is the only tier. Game Pass Premium is $15 a month and it has most games. You don't get day one games, but yeah, but most people already played them or they don't want them. It's kind of tough, man. Like it's just not gonna work, bro. Cause like Microsoft set it up the wrong way. Sony has it the correct way. Where it's like if you want premium, I mean you get these older games, but if you just get this one right here, this is what mostly everybody wants anyways. And our games you want to own anyways. So he even says it down here. He may actually be right for once. Michael Pachter lost his lawyer license because he was trolling the gaming industry all the time. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's not that dumb. No, he's doing it for the money. And he'll say it for Wall Street. I'm telling you. No. So we see people saying stuff in these comments, right? People act like Game Pass Ultimate is the only tier. He was wrong about that. Make Xbox a mini PC with Xbox style overlay and focus on PC games, F consoles, and make all Windows in the future have some overlay in all Windows. Oh boy. Yeah, please stop typing. But yeah, we get the idea here. People coming in here. Yeah, next Xbox will sell for profit with margins comparable to PC. So it won't be much cheaper than a comparable PC. That is what they're doing. It's an optional extension high-end PC with certain Xbox backwards compatibility features. It's going to be just like the Steam Machine option, except way more expensive and obviously a lot more powerful for the price point difference. But nobody wants to go that far if you're still thinking like a console gamer. $700 still hurts console gamers. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's going to be a very niche audience because it's going to force you to do Windows 11 with Copilot. And we know who took over Microsoft now. And on top of that, most people like Steam. They already have their rigs. They already have Linux setups. They don't really need the Magnus. That's the way they're going to look at it. I'm just being honest. They should be happy if that thing sells 10 million, if they can get to that. It's going to be very tough, I'm telling you. So what do you guys think about this? Leave some comments down below. It's pretty obvious, I'll just use this, that he's correct. I mean, the Magnus isn't really going to have much. So if Microsoft wants to rely on a steady future from Xbox, it's going to have to be publishing and subscription. That's what's left for them to push. Nothing else. Hardware is finished. Later, y'all.